Hello everyone, welcome back to my little video diary channel. Today is the second week of my third year and it's just flown by, and I thought I would start by talking about my poster that I made, because I had a poster presentation on Tuesday about my visual product, so I made this poster so I could talk about it. So, this is the poster in its full glory. I thought I would start by coming over here, and it says high fashion / low fashion, and here we've got some Jimmy Choo with pom-poms on, and some fashion images, catwalk images, sorry, with pom-poms, and here that they are shoes from Primark, but as you can see, they've got pom-poms on as well. Here is a cardigan from ASOS, which I think is so cool. And here is a picture that I took myself in Claire's Accessories, and they were selling these pom-pom keychain things. And I found this quote that says, "Pom-poms can make something as simple as a white top feel like resort wear, and they can definitely brighten up any little black dress that takes itself too seriously." And that was from an article online. So I want one of my chapters to be about high fashion versus low fashion, and why does the pom-pom cross all areas of fashion. So looking at that would probably be one of my chapters, and then another chapter would be about taste. Now, this is a photo I took myself in Paper Chase. They were selling these keychains. And then here, they were selling Christmas decorations, because Christmas time's coming up, and this is a pom-pom sort of, I think there was like pom-pom robins and stuff. So that was cool. And very kitsch, so ideas of taste and kitsch. And here there's loads of things on Pinterest about making your own pom-poms. And it's just like that, the idea of just making pom-poms like on a fork. And they're so contrasting, and yet it's the same sort of fashion trend that we're looking at here, which I think is really interesting. And I found this quote says, "Forget fringing and florals. This summer, your summer look requires pom-poms." And that's from an article by Glamour. And actually, this is the article down here, which is called "Why Your Summer Look Needs Pom-Poms." And they had like all these different products with pom-poms on, and where to get them. And that's summer 2016, so that's really quite a recent article. Another article I found from The Guardian that was released in December 2015 said this: that this December they are everywhere, sprouting from woolen beanie hats, embellishing shoes, and dangling from handbags. Meet the fluffy pom-pom, the undisputed fashion smash of Christmas 2015. So it's clearly a trend. And I'm just trying to sort of prove that through these quotes. Here there's a company called Pom Pom London, and they spell it like that, like French. And they just sell these earrings with pom-poms on. I thought they are quite cool, and they're between 60 and £40, from what I can tell. And then also there's these shoes, and they're like Vans with pom-poms on. They're £255. And so when you look here, like, it seems that pom-poms are really just the thing to wear at the moment, and they might be classed as kitsch, but they're a sort of kitsch that people can really get on board with. So I thought that's quite interesting. So here I've just got the title, which I made. Found this really cool font. I think I'd like to include this font in my actual visual product. And I think possibly my last chapter would be about sourcing. So this is a pom-pom from Primark. It's £2 and it's fake fur. This is a pom-pom from ASOS. It says it's 70% polyester and 30% acrylic, so fake as well, and £5. And then here we've got a pom-pom charm by Fendi, and it's £435. And it's made of fox fur. So maybe ideas of like animal cruelty and that sort of thing come into play here. And that would possibly explain why it's so expensive. Also the brand, like how much of an impact does the brand make on price? Because really these pom-poms are extremely similar. So that was my poster, and we had a really good chat about it with my tutor, and she basically really liked my idea, which was very exciting. And she also sort of said about ideas of gender and why there are no men sporting pom-poms. And I had thought about it, but I didn't think it was sort of big enough to be a chapter. But I mean, I'll look into it a bit more and see sort of what I can get from that. Obviously it needs to be like 100 images, so maybe I will need those sort of ideas to get enough images. I don't know. So I also went to the library and I found 3 books. I don't know how relevant they are really, but I was just sort of trying out different things. So this book, Pom-Poms and Ruffles, it's about clowns. It's like a clown memoir thing, I guess. And I love this image. I definitely want to include this image. Just look at those pom-poms. They're just brilliant. And that's from 1913. Just like a bunch of clowns doing their thing. So yeah, I want to include that somehow. It might come into the sourcing category, like the history of pom-poms, maybe. So yeah, there was that book. There was this book, The New Bohemians Cool and Collected Homes, and I expected to find more pom-poms in here than I did, to be fair. Oh, okay, so here there's like a pom-pom cushion, and it mentions it in this little thing here, I think. Yeah, so pom-pom cushion. Very fluffy chairs here, which are cool. And this rug kind of has pom-poms on. Here is where I found it the most. It's like this little pom-pom garland thing. So yeah, maybe looking at how pom-poms are used in interiors could be a route to go down, or maybe not. This is A History of Fashion. I love how old this book is. Yeah, it's really cool, and just some of the illustrations are gorgeous. But anyway, pom-poms. So here we've got a picture of a woman like with this big hairy muff thing, which I think is cool. So maybe ideas of like how pom-poms were used, because they obviously had a function here, but in the sort of recent times they're not really functional, they're just sort of decoration. So here again, the fluffy muffs, and yeah, here again, and the trims, furry trim things. They're pretty cool. So yeah, looking a bit through history. This looks like a pom-pom here. Yeah, a bit through history to sort of back up my research. I don't know how easy it will be to find sources like this, but I'm going to do some more digging next week and see. So that was the books that I found in the library, but I got to email my tutor and she'll recommend to me more books apparently. And so also for GCC we had to fill in these really scary looking forms about ethical clearance, because if I want to include pictures of people or quote interviews from people, I have to sign these things to say that like my work isn't I'm going to be telling people about my work before I photograph them or interview them, and I'm not going to be using vulnerable people, and yeah, so I hope I've filled those in right. They're due in today actually, so gotta get cracking with that. So that's DCC in a nutshell. More to come next week. Oh gosh, this video is already really long. I'm sorry. Right, now let's talk about my practice. So, we've had to fill in some forms. This form's about what we hope to achieve this academic year and like our strengths and weaknesses. I didn't finish it. This form is about my practice, what we're doing as for our project this year, and they're all like really important questions. I hope to use pom-poms in my weaving, and that's how it would link, I think. And just like about colour palettes and who inspires this project and sustainability issues. So yeah, from this I actually wrote a brief which I gave in, but it's due in on Dropbox as well today as well. So yeah, we'll get feedback from that brief, and then I'll be able to see better what I'm aiming for through this project. These are just some of the visual research you saw last week, which I printed out to show people my tutorial. So yeah, that's done with that folder. Now I found this book called Tropical Colours, The Art of Living with Tropical Flowers. I'm not sure how relevant it will be, but it had tropical in the title. I like this, like the floating flower thing. I could maybe get that in there somehow. Lots of floating flowers. Haven't really looked properly through this book, to be honest, so I'm just having a little flip through. Yeah, cool. So I only got that yesterday. Finding books. Gotta find more books, crucial. Last thing I'm going to show you is my sketchbook, which I started this week, and it's going okay. So got some like palm trees here. Here I used ink to paint the background black, and I used acrylic paint, and I just scratched some leaves into the page. I was gonna make them coloured, but I quite like this black and white, I don't know. Here we've got like a watercolour background, and then I just drew on with my Sharpies, because I've got some really bright Sharpies, which works quite well with this project. That's just some birds. I'm not sure whether I will go into this wildlife, the wildlife theme, but I just tried it anyway. Here we've got some collage. I really like these colours. I said last week about the neutral colours with the dark colours and the white. And hopefully I'll still be able to carry that through. This page was quite interesting. It's like a stencil, and then I used like these blow pen things I've got. And I like this page. Normally at the start of a project I just hate all my pages, but that's quite nice. This one's nice as well. It's just ink and with a paintbrush and just making different marks. I thought that was pretty cool. This I did with my Sharpies. Again, the dark and the bright sort of together. This this double page spread I like layered on some like glitter paint and some yellow paint and some pink paint, and then I just splodged the two pages together and pulled them apart and then let that dry. It's quite thick, which I find quite interesting. It's just a bit more different to all my flat stuff. And then I used ink to draw like some, well, paint some leaves on. I'm only trying to show you the good ones here, and that's why. Okay, this is just a little squiggly ink thing. I don't really know what I'm doing with that yet, but it was fun to do. That's the end. So yeah, lots of work to be doing, but I feel like I have made some good progress this week, especially in the sketchbook, and like deciding some DCC chapters. So next week I would like to, if I tell you my goals, then I'm more likely to do them. Next week, what did I say? I would like to start my contextual file, this digital contextual file, because I've actually not done that this week. I've sort of been focusing on other things. And I would also like to look in the yarn store, be thinking about yarn, and make some yarn wrappings, and just decide what sort of weavings I want to do. Just a step closer to weaving would be awesome, and also coming up with a colour palette that's fixed, because at the moment it's all a bit all over the place. So yes, that's the end of my video this week. Thank you for watching. Bye.